Hello, horror fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment. With me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and movie review for the brand new horror film Obsession, starring Indy Navarti, by which I apologize, Carrie Baker, and Michael Johnson. So, if you have not heard of this film or seen this film, it's a low budget horror film, and we're gonna talk about it. But before I do, gotta say congratulations to everybody involved. Very hard to make a movie, no matter how big or small the budget is, or TV show, depends on what you're working on. Very hard to do either one. So there's that. Also, where's our trailer, Marvel? I will continue saying that until Marvel releases the Doomsday trailer. So let's talk about Obsession, because this was a very interesting film. And so the plot is, you have these four friends, they're friends, but this one guy, played by Michael Johnson, his name is Bear, I think that's what they call him. Anyway, normal guy, kind of weak when it comes to talking to pretty girls, and in that department. But he has his friends, and his friends, he has his friends, which is him, his best friend, and then these two girls who are also their friends. They have their own circle, but one of the girls, Nikki, he has a crush on her. However, he really can't talk to her. He's trying to find ways to finally tell her the truth, tell her, hey, listen, I like you, I want to be more than just friends. Although kind of weird that you are in a circle of friendship. That should be like the number one rule. You should not date each other because it makes it awkward for everybody else, but whatever. So he's trying to figure out a way to communicate with her, trying to find a way to, like, I like you and all that. So he goes into a magic shop one day, and he comes across something kind of interesting. It's like a wishing, like, toy in a way, like a wishing bone in a way. So it says that you get one wish, it will come true or whatever, and whatever you wish for will come true. So he's like, yeah, right, okay, why not? I'll buy it for kicks. So he ends up buying it, and he ends up making a wish for Nikki to love him and only him for the rest of his life. And then the movie goes from 0 to 1,000 in like 2.5 seconds, because the movie literally goes crazy in after that scenario. That part's in the trailer of him making the wish about having Nikki be in love with him and all that. But it becomes an obsession, like a scary obsession. He literally makes this girl lose all free will of herself. All free will of herself, and she can't control herself. She loses it a lot of times, even for the small simple things of him, like, going away for a couple of minutes, or maybe he has to go to work and she doesn't want him to go to work when she's off, or whatever it is. And it gets creepy from there. And the actress who plays Nikki, her name is India. She was actually in the show, if you guys remember the show, Superman and Lois. She plays Jordan's love interest. She was like the breakout star of this film. The way that she had to play this simple, sweet girl, best friend, everybody loves her. They call her Freaky Nikki because she can kind of like to hang out and do freaky things when it comes to certain things, with men or whatever. But she hates that. She really hates that. So, but she's a fun girl too at the same time. But when she had to transition herself from being the sweet girl to the psychotic person, and again, she can't help herself because she's basically being controlled by somebody else, because the guy that likes her, and she may or may not like him back in her own personal way. She can't control it. She goes into psycho mode, and it gets violent. It gets creepy. It gets into a Stockholm syndrome in a way. And you get the feelings like you really, she actually, when you watching her do these violent things in here and being over dramatic when it comes to certain things with the boyfriend, because she ends up being with him, you kind of feel sorry for her. It's not really her fault. He made the wish, and now the wish is backfiring on him. Is that old saying, be careful what you wish for? kind of a thing. But he, he didn't know. He thought it would be like a fun little, okay, yeah, it's like me wishing I can, meet her, Emma Stone for the first time, and then, trying to do something stupid, but I never do that, obviously. But, it's kind of like that in a way where he had no idea that he was going to do that and it was going to come true, and it just backfired on him in a way, you know? And another reason why I like about this film is that the tension this movie gives you. Because when you're watching this movie, the tension is not like, oh, where's the jump scares? It's not what the scary tension moments here are mostly about what moments where she's gonna snap out of nowhere. That stuff is kind of creepy. There's one scene here that I didn't like, but I'll get to that in a moment. But the tension is in this movie. The tension builds up so much, and it really, really works. I thought the director did a really good job of doing that tension, like keeping you like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Again, it wasn't like this movie was trying to give you jump scares. There were a couple of jump scares in here because of the tension, but it was more of like, oh my God, what is she gonna do next? Because you don't know if she's gonna go from 0 to 60 in the blink of an eye, like a snap of her finger. And she did, the actress who plays Nikki Indy. I apologize. She did a fantastic job with that, and I thought she did a really good job. There's a couple of scenes here that it's like the same trope from other like little horror movies where, there's moments where you see urinate, going to the bathroom in public places that, people can see you kind of a situation, or eating certain things that may not be actual food. But I found that stuff kind of annoying because it's like, really, you're gonna go back to you're doing such a great job with this intention stuff. You have to make it awkward with this kind of stuff too, just to bring it into more tension. Not that we don't see that all the time in horror movies. It's just that trope I feel like does not really work really well. So I felt like I didn't really need it. And there's this one scene that I thought at one point I had to go talk to the people, controlling the projector, because I thought it froze the screen. There's a scene, I'm not going to spoil what happens, but there's a scene where a character literally just does this. Like freezes, like on screen. Now, your mind may think at one point, like, oh, is that part of the movie? Or was that maybe it was a malfunction? I literally almost got up and tried to, like, I was going to go tell somebody the screen froze, but then the screen went back to normal because the person who was doing that was doing it so well, it caught me off guard a little bit. So I was like, wow, impressive, but a little kind of like, kind of weird. But still, I thought this movie worked very, very well. It really sends a message of, not trying to be too obsessed with somebody you want to be with and not try to approach it in a weird way. And I thought everybody did a really good job. The ending was fantastic. I thought the ending was great. And now I just found out that there's an alternate ending to it too. So I was like, huh. I prefer this ending, but I kind of feel like the way I read about and described, the other ending that supposedly they took away made more sense to have it. So yeah, I thought, and all the actors were great. You really felt like these guys, this group of friends were really friends at one point, and then once the magic happens in a way, and then the one girl, Nikki, loses her free will to even have control of her own body, it's gone. It's like, wow, the whole friendship is like Splitsville from there. So I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen to them. With the friendship, is the friendship still gonna be strong afterwards or not? But when you watch it, it's like, maybe not, who knows? But still, I thought this movie did a phenomenal job of just bringing that tension to a film. Because, I love when horror films do that, but then sometimes they drop the ball with too many of the jump scares or, public urination kind of scenes and, eating gross stuff. Those stuff's kind of like throw me off a little bit because I see that trope so much in movies, and it just bothers me because not that it's not creepy and gross, it's just like a little bit too much. Like, you're gonna go back to that trope, you're gonna go to that trope, you were doing so well. And yeah, but this movie did a really good job of just keeping that tension And again, the actress who plays Nikki was just phenomenal. I think she did a really good job of playing two different personalities in here when she had to switch on and off of who she was. She was one minute she was herself being free. Another minute she was basically being handcuffed by this spell that she can't control herself. And I really hope there's like maybe a director's cut of this to show us, the audience, her point of view instead of the boyfriend's point of view. Because I would love to see her mindset, seeing what she's doing. Like what she's doing, like what's in her mind saying, oh my God, what I just do? I just did this. I just did that. Why am I doing this? Why is this happening? Why I can't control my, I think that would be kind of cool to see like in another perspective of her perspective. I think it would do really, really well. But still, I thought the film was great. Cool tension. A couple moments I thought was like, you could have done without, but still, I thought the ending was great. Even though now I just found out after watching it, I read online, there's a even better ending. Even I was thinking about that ending, that could have been an ending too. Or why didn't they go with that ending? And then I find out that ending was a part of the movie, and then they took it outside. They changed it to this ending. So I was like, okay, so that ending does exist in another universe somewhere. But yeah, but still, I thought the movie was great. Cast was amazing. I thought everybody did a good job, and the film was cool, in a horror movie way. So if you're interested in horror films and you like low budget horror films, I think this might be for you. But I'm letting you guys know now, this movie's kind of crazy, like literally crazy, because you see this girl, poor Nikki, she literally goes from 0 to 60 in like 2.5 seconds, and it's beyond crazy. And again, it's against her own will. She really, really can't control herself because this magic is controlling her, and it's bonkers. And the way that the actress plays it off, yeah, I can talk about her playing off that two-sided role very in a spoiler video if I want to. But yeah, heck of a movie. Go check it out. Highly recommend it, especially if you guys like horror movies. I think you guys would enjoy this movie, and maybe we'll get more in this world. Another negative. It's not a negative. It's a little bit more of a nitpick. I kind of wish we got a bit more of the backstory of where this magic wishing stick came from. Maybe a little backstory, because maybe the main actor, he couldn't, in the movie, he couldn't be like, oh, I need help with this. Something happened, and where did this come from? Kind of a story or something. Not a whole act of the whole movie. Oh, back in this time period, ancient cavemen invented these things and added voodoo or something. No, nothing like that, but just something like a little bit like where this stick thing came from and why was it being sold at magic shops. So yeah, so something like that would have been cool. A little backstory about this thing, but still, fun movie, creepy as heck. A lot of cool tension scenes that I enjoyed. The cast was great, and I recommend checking it out if you guys are horror fans. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about Obsession. Did you guys see the trailer? Not know about it until I just talked about it. You thinking about watching it now? Seen it already? What do you think of it? Whatever it is, leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more, and thank you very much, and have a good night.